Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is DMAC, and today I'm looking at this very nice, get him in focus, ERA Fortress Euro cylinder. Very formidable looking cylinder this. If we compare this to just a basic Euro, this one is a zone, 6-pin as well. No, apart from if there may be any security pins in there, no particular security features when compared with this one. Definitely looks a bit more formidable. So you can see there we've got anti-snap protection there. We've got drill protection here, both sides. I think this in itself, this is steel, and that goes all the way through here to sort of prevent snapping, that sort of thing. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 anti-drill bars going through there, and we've also, this is the external side and this is the internal side. We've got these trap pins here. We've got 3 on this side and 3 on this side, and if you can see, this one's in line with chamber 6, this one's in line with chamber 4, and this one is in line with chamber 2. And what they do, when the key's inserted, it operates properly. You can see the cam turning there. You can just see those trap pins. Let's get it in focus. They kind of wobble just a little bit as the key goes through, but the key and the correct bit in prevents them shooting into the top of the core there. But if we pick this, which we're going to try in just a moment, if we pick this and turn it, then those trap pins will fire into the top of the keyway, locking it, and unless you can pick out of it, you wouldn't be able to then insert the key, and your lock is effectively jammed. The idea behind it is if you were to come home and you know that lock was over to the side, you can tell that someone's been tampering with it. You still have to call a locksmith, presumably, to get it out, unless you can get him from the inside. Okay, so what we're going to attempt to do today with a Euro lock, in order to get an open on the lock itself, you need to turn that cam 360 degrees. So that's exactly what we're going to do with this one, which means we're going to have to pick the lock. When we turn it, if we look at the top of the keyway, if we imagine that in the 12 o'clock position, when that goes to 1 o'clock, these pins are going to fire in, which we're going to have to deal with. And then as we rotate it to the 5 o'clock position, by that point, the bottom of the keyway, we can get these trap pins firing into it then. As we continue to rotate it at the bottom of that to the 7 o'clock position, the bottom of the keyway is again going to have these ones firing into it. And as we continue clockwise with it, when we get to the 11 o'clock position, these ones here are going to fire into the top of the keyway again. So we're going to have to deal with all of that. Hopefully we can get that all on video. I've done this before. It's a pain in the arse, and hopefully it won't take too long on video, so you just will have to bear with me. So what I'm going to do, make sure we've got the external side with the trap pins there facing outwards. We'll get him in, and the first thing to do is to pick it as normal, so let's just zoom you in a fraction there. So we'll use this tensioner in the bottom there. Since we've got a paracentric keyway, we might as well use this bottom space here, and let's use this pick here. I've had a couple of these before. This one I got a few days ago, and I don't find them that difficult to pick. I mean, I've only picked 2 of them so far. Sorry, I'm talking there. But let's try and get this picked initially. So I'm down the back. I think that was 6. That's possibly 4. Nothing at the front. That was 4 again. We'll click on 1, and there we go, we've got an open. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this cylinder around, because the trap pins haven't fired in yet, and I just want to turn it around so you can see when they do. So you can observe them there. They'll go in as I bring it to that position, and there we go. So if you were to come home and see your cylinder in that position, then you know, it's not going to work. You wouldn't be able to get the key in there because all those key pins are jammed down, and these trap pins have fired into the cylinder. I found, I was playing about with it, and this profile, this is one of the reach hooks from Lawlock Tools, seem to defeat these trap pins reasonably well. So I'm going to use this bottom of the keyway tensioner. This is one of my spoke tensioners. I did a video on those because it kind of sits snugly, and we can try and wiggle this keyway a bit. So I'm going to try and pick out of these now, which involves a little bit of luck because they're definitely not as easy to pick as normal pins. They've kind of very sharp spools. I haven't actually got this open yet. Sorry, gutted it yet. Oh, there we go. That was faster than normal, but we are out. I mean, that's definitely helped along by me being able to view these pins and get an idea of what's set and what's not. If this was in a doorway, all of this is going to be obscured and you can just see the front. That said, you know, you may be able to just use a bit of luck and almost sort of rake or bitch pick to try and get them open. So let's turn him back to the upright position. Now, as I said, when we continue turning this, if I continue turning this around so that the bottom of that keyway is parallel with these trap pins, they'll fire in and lock it. I did do that the first time I got this lock, and it took me an age to pick out of it, but there's a much easier way to do that, and that's to take any sort of key that fits. This one was, I don't even know what it was, but it was a Yale style keyway, which is the same as, you know, same as the one that comes with it. And I've just cut everything down, and that can sit hopefully there into the keyway, and what that will do is it will block the bottom of the keyway, enabling us to turn straight past those. Oh, that cam's just getting stuck on the bottom. Let's just move them forward a bit. Okay, so we've got past those. That's two sets of trap pins we've now defeated, and there are these ones on the side. We're going to keep this in the bottom and continue to turn past them. There we go, we're past them. And now the top of the keyway is coming back round to the 12 o'clock position where we started, but of course these ones here, let's get you in the frame, these ones here are going to fire in when I turn around. There's going to be nothing to block it, and there they go. So we're going to have to pick out of those. Zoom you right in there, and if you see there on that second trap pin, you can see the serrations in the side there, and I think these pins themselves are kind of like spools, and they lock into those serrations really well, and they can be a real pain to pick out of. So we'll try and pick these last sets, and that will complete our 360. Hopefully this won't take us as long, or take us quick like those first ones did, but maybe not. They can be a pain. I find it's very easy to turn this around a little bit so you can see better. I find that it's very easy to get one or two of these pins set, but again, all of them into the set position is very difficult. As soon as you get one set, there we go. So I've got that one's 2 set and 3 set, but if I try and reach for this 6 one, they'll probably all drop out, and I'll have to start again. And there we go. So that middle one dropped out. This one just here dropped. Oh, that feels like we've got them all, but it's not turning. Oh, there we go. We're back round to the 12 o'clock position. I definitely wouldn't fancy doing that if this were in a door and we couldn't see that. But like I say, I think I might try it one day when I'm feeling particularly sadistic, just to give it a go and see if it can be done. I did try kind of fashioning a tool to try and deal with these spools. I think it was kind of like a rake. I was thinking, well, the triple peak, 3 of those peaks, if we can get those to line up with those pins, which this wave rake almost does, then you see all those peaks there on the wave rake are lining up. if we did that, then we might be able to sort of push that in and deal with those pins that way. The trouble is you'd have to make them, you couldn't have them all exactly the same height, because when this cylinder's in that position that these trap pins are fired into it, you've also got to deal with all the other key pins that are in the way, and those key pins are all going to be at different heights. So you could probably make a specific tool for this specific lock to defeat those trap pins, but I don't think you could make a universal one. Certainly when it's in that position that the trap pins are fired into the top of the keyway there's really not much room to maneuver in there. I mean, as we put the rake in there, those pins are able to go up and down into the spring chamber, and there's lots of room. But when that core is partially turned, we haven't got that movement at all, and it's very difficult to make any sort of tool to get in there to settle those three. That's probably, I think I've done this 3 times since I bought it, did like a 360 like that. That was probably the fastest I did it. I think the first time I did it with this particular core, I was there for about half an hour, in all honesty, for 45 minutes. And I think the thing that took me one of the longest was before I'd fashioned this one here to go in there. It was when these key pins, these trap pins there, sorry, fired into the bottom of the cylinder. And yeah, just locked it up, and it was a real nightmare to get out. But I spent a while playing around with different pick profiles, and I certainly found that in this particular case, perhaps just with this lock and this bit in, yeah, this reach one really did the job. So there you go, that's my little video on doing a 360 on an ERA Fortress Euro cylinder with 6 trap pins. Lots of fun. If you can get hold of one, I'd definitely recommend it. They are really nice locks, like I say, when you compare to just a standard Euro cylinder. They've really thought about the security on this one. I don't know if, like I said, this one was quite easy to pick initially, to just pick the pin stacks. I'm going to get some tools to open this up. I don't have means to gut this out the front. I think you need a pin and shoe and a couple of tools that I don't currently have, but I'm going to keep hold of this until I've got those, because I'm curious as to what security pins are inside. But the last one I got, that was a few months ago. I bought it, picked it and sold it. That was quite easy to pick, and I was hoping this one would be more of a challenge. It's got a reasonable bit in on there, but for whatever reason, that initial pick's not too difficult on this one. But yeah, those trap pins are a real pain in the arse, but good fun to do, and I recommend you go out and buy one if you can. That's my video for today. Thanks for watching. I'll put a link up there to subscribe if you want to continue watching these type of videos. But yeah, thanks for watching today, and bye for now.